How is Beyonce so incredibly beautiful? Has she had plastic surgery? And if so, what might you be able to learn from it? My name is Dr. Anthony Youn, and I'm known as America's Holistic Plastic Surgeon. On this video, we are going to analyze Beyonce through the years. Before we get there, I need to let you know that I am not her doctor. I have not treated Beyonce, I have not operated on her. All of this is my opinion only. So take a peek at her from the late 90s. This is actually a photograph of her back in high school and a picture of her in 2000 after she broke big with Destiny's Child. This is who I believe the natural Beyonce is. I don't think that she's had any work done at this time, and you can see that she really has awesome genes. Her skin is perfect. She's got great complexion. She is absolutely beautiful. But I'd like to have you focus on two things that we're going to focus today on this video: her nose and her lips. So let's fast forward now to 2007. And you can see here that there are some changes going on. So if you take a close look at her nose, you can see that her nose looks a bit thinner and possibly even a bit shorter. Also take a look at her lips. As we get older, our lips tend to thin, and that's not necessarily what we're seeing here. Her lips, if anything, look maybe a little bit thicker. So I do believe at this time she may have undergone a very subtle rhinoplasty or nose job to thin her nose, and she may have begun undergoing some very modest injections to keep her lips nice and plump. Now I also need to say that her makeup artist is probably the greatest makeup artist alive today. His name is Sir John. I have met him on a couple of occasions, and on top of being a brilliant artist, he is a super nice guy. And so how much of this is due to contouring? I do think that there's definitely some contouring going on here. So let's go ahead now and fast forward another 7-8 years. This is her in 2015 compared to her in 2007. Once again, if you take a look at her nose, there's some very slight thinning of her nose. Could this be due to contouring, or could this be due to surgery? Well, I do think that at some point between 2000 and 2015, she did undergo rhinoplasty surgery. The big question, though, is when? When was it? And that's where I think that the work is so subtle, it's so well done, that it's hard to tell. Take a look at her lips as well, and her lips look a slight bit plumper in 2015 than they did in 2007. This is not how the lips naturally age. They don't naturally get bigger as we get older. It's the opposite. So I do think she has had some lip plumping injections as well. And once again, absolutely beautiful. This is a Beyonce that we know and love, who is barely aging. Now, I don't have a great picture of her from 2018, 2019, or even 2020 that I have the rights to show you. So unfortunately, this was the one that I was able to pull up, and now we're really seeing some big changes. Well, obviously, there's the hair changes, there's the skin color changes, makeup and all of that, but look at her nose. Her nose looks distinctly more narrow and shorter than it did in 2015. And I have looked at some photos of her from 2020, from this year, on her Instagram, and there does appear to be a very slight thinning of her nose. So I do think at some point between 2015 and 2019, she may have undergone a second rhinoplasty or nose job. Also, her lips look a bit plumper as well. Now, obviously, she's not smiling in the 2019 photo, but I do think that she may be undergoing some very subtle lip injections. So if we now compare her from 2000 to 2019, you can see that there is definitely a change that has happened in her nose. I don't think that this is just contouring. This is a true shape change of her nose, likely due to a rhinoplasty. Has she had any other treatments done? Well, it's tough to say. And as we take a look at her, this is a Beyonce that we know and love from 2015. Her skin is absolutely perfect, and I do think some of this is due to genes. I do think that there's certain specific things that she does, however, to help her skin look amazing. Well, she has given multiple interviews where she has given some of her beauty tips. The first thing, and this is something she has not admitted to, but I believe is true, is that so many Hollywood celebrities have had nose jobs. I mean, it is amazing. When I watch videos and look at photos of celebrities, how many of them have had subtle tweaks to their nose to give it the shape that it has today. I think it's important to realize that holistic beauty wins out. If you think that the reason why she looks so good is all from a plastic surgeon's knife or a needle, that is totally not true. The changes that you see over the years, or the lack of changes that you see, so much of it is due to lifestyle and non-invasive and minimally invasive types of treatments. One of the things that she admits to is moisturizing her skin every night. There was an interview, and there are people who believe that she applies Aquaphor to her skin every night. Now, I'm not a huge fan of Aquaphor. I think for short periods of time, Aquaphor can be very effective in locking in moisture to the skin, but I don't necessarily recommend Aquaphor long term because it contains petroleum jelly and mineral oil. Petroleum jelly and mineral oil are not horrible for your skin, but they're also not my first choices if you're looking at moisturizing your skin. She does say that she removes her makeup every night. This is so important. If you wear makeup during the day, and even if you don't, you gotta wash your skin at night. You gotta wash that makeup, that dirt, the debris, the oil, the grime, the pollution, all that stuff that's built up over your skin for the day, you gotta wash it off at night. And that is something that Beyonce does. And this is something also that has been huge and that she has talked about recently, is that she and Jay-Z have transitioned to a more plant-based, even short-term vegan diet. A plant-based diet is essentially a vegan diet that gets rid of the vegan unhealthy food. There are certain foods that are vegan, like let's say a Twinkie, that doesn't belong in a healthy plant-based diet. The great things about her going plant-based is getting rid of processed foods, getting rid of dairy, which can be inflammatory to your skin, and getting rid of a lot of the factory farm processed meats that can also wreak havoc on your skin. That's one reason why I think that her skin is so glowing and so amazing. So who looks better, Beyonce or J-Lo? Well, I created a video recently where I went through J-Lo over the years as well. And if you haven't seen it, check it out here because I deconstruct her plastic surgery as well. You might be surprised at what I find out.